Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Beinbrink here with Sports Force. Myself and some amazing baseball men have come together to do a little mastermind on where they are with their specific organizations and how they want to give value at this very unprecedented time in the baseball community. So I'm going to go around the horn. We got guys all over the country, but I'll lead off first with Brent at TopVelocity down there in Louisiana. Brent, share with us what's going on down there and what you're up to.
Thanks, Andrew. Going through what most people are going through with shutdowns, lockdowns, quarantines. So managing the business, very small clientele, and it's been challenging. I think the keys for us is we've been trying to just get some financial support, and it looks like we are getting some financial support. So that's going to help. But we are trying to get used to maybe a new norm of getting more into remote training or getting more into online training, probably similar to a lot of the schools are doing with classwork. And I think, we should just be doing the exact same thing as coaches, is getting these guys accustomed to online coaching, online training. And so I think that's the one exciting thing going on. I think it's pushing us to be more innovative, get more into the technology, and there's so much of it out there. There's an endless amount of technology to tap into right now. I think that's the blessing of all this. And, I've been helping a lot of coaches do that. I'm open to help more coaches. If there's any coaches out there that need help on what technology can really help them through these times. But I think it's just getting innovative, knowing that this is going to come back, but developing a new product in this time, a new product of remote training, of online training. I think that's the key coming out of this.
100%. We're hearing it from all of our athletes that they're looking for more pitching and player development, remote training courses and tools. So that's awesome. Let's move on to Sang with 4D Motion. Hey, Sang, give us the update on kind of where your organization is and, how you're, planning to just continue to bring so much value to the baseball community.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. First, I hope everybody's staying safe out there. It's a difficult time. At 4D, I think Brent put it really well. I think realizing there's kind of a new normal out there, regardless of what happens over the next couple of months. I think remote is going to be a really important part of Academy's portfolios. So for our part as a technology company, we've done two specific things, and I'll share more details later. First is continuing to make our product faster, simpler, more affordable, and more portable. I think that's one of the most important things about remote training. So we're announcing our Gen 3 product, which really is going to be a game changer in terms of how it performs compared to Gen 2. But perhaps more importantly, we've introduced a new remote training program for coaches. So the idea is we wanted to give the coaches the technology to be able to perform remote training more effectively without a big financial hit. So we actually created a no upfront fee monthly model that you can incorporate into your training programs. It's very affordable. We're talking about $17 to maybe $48 a month, so that you can take our technology and work with your players right away. So I'd be happy to share more details, but really hoping that we can help do our part with that program.
Amazing. That's awesome. I know the data and the metrics that you guys are providing are huge for player development breakthroughs. Cool. So let's jump over to Sean with VPX. Tell us where you're at, brother. What's going on?
Yeah, man, from our end, it's been crazy. As far as products go, our VPX harness for baseball, softball, and other sports is kind of it's a lot of remote work as it is, and a lot of work at home. As far as the baseball landscape and what we've seen, we've seen it affect everybody from, myself directly at the college level, having to figure out what to do with upperclassmen and seniors and, Now there's a bunch of high school seniors that that utilize our products that we're trying to help out that are panicking now because they don't have a high school season and maybe not a summer season. And it's, the trickle down effect's crazy and how this is all going to come out. I think one thing that may come out of this, we always, I'm sure we all do, preach, it's the work you do when no one's watching that matters, the work you do on your own, the work, and I think what may come out of this is, a lot of those guys, especially the underclassmen, like the worst thing you can do now in this environment is just be bummed about it and sit and do nothing. Because eventually everybody's going to start playing again. And whatever season you have is going to be, whether it's summer, if it's summer, it's going to be, the landscape's going to be drastically different and shorter. So a lot of colleges are going to, it's unprecedented how far into the summer recruiting is going to go this year, because a lot of people that didn't have finished classes, recruiting classes coming in, use the high school season to complete it. And now we don't have that. So it's going to go into the summer. So, what we're telling everyone, and my advice to everybody would be, the worst thing you can do is come in without having picked up a bat or anything at all for weeks, and then all of a sudden, the season's going, you go try to play and you don't show well, and that's that. So I understand the stress everybody's under, but the advice we're giving everybody is, from a baseball standpoint, is to just stay busy, do what you can, get the work in you can, keep a bat in your hand, keep a ball in your hand, and if you have, go on your backyard and throw, get somebody over, throw a bully or something.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. That's big time. Cool. Let's move over to Angel Lugo with the Cadet Baseball Academy out there in New York. Angel, share what's going on, my man.
So a lot like Sean, here in the Hudson Valley, New York, we're going through the same thing with the shutdown. Again, doing a lot of the same things Sean just said, telling players to make sure they're doing their work at home. There is small groups getting out to the fields. This takes me back to when I grew up in Brooklyn and we didn't have training facilities. So being a training facility owner now, totally different than the playgrounds of New York City. But it goes back to when I was a kid, I used to just lift my mattress and hit baseballs into a mattress. So you got to get creative. You got to find ways to still get your work in. And that's really what we're pushing on our players, is to ensure we stay engaged with them, giving them some guidelines on what they should be doing. But get ready for the season. It's going to come at some point, and we want to make sure that they're ready. So that's really what we're focusing on with our teams down here and all our students, is just to try to keep them doing something at home. I think a lot's going to come out of this. I think that self-development that Sean was just talking about, players learning to do things on their own, not counting on their instructors to tell them every minute of what to do. But we're hoping to announce some things, still keep in touch with them over the next few days. So again, I think it's a trying time for all of us, but I think a lot of good could come from this if we all stay focused on helping the kids out.
100%, absolutely. And I'll just kind of share where things are from our perspective. Obviously we got a national college recruiting advisory group with former college players, college coaches around the country. We're in touch with college coaches every day to kind of understand and stay on top of the most latest and greatest news and information relative to recruiting, which, like you said, Angel and Sean, is that these players are just in a total unknown circumstance that they've never been in before, and their dreams and goals of getting recruited, they're like, all right, is this eligibility waiver going to backlog everything for my 2020 or 2021 recruiting process? So we're constantly holding kind of Q&A calls with our players, but we're also sharing as much recruiting information as we can online, because at this point, the most critical thing is control the controllables. And if you're not in control of your season, you're not in control of if that's going to resume, you're not in control of what they're doing with academic studying, just take control of what you can control. And so we're having our players organize their latest video, organize their latest measurables and metrics, submitting all that to us so we can organize that information and then, proactively start disseminating that directly to college coaches for those players that are really in that kind of critical window for their recruiting process, whether they're an unsigned senior or an uncommitted junior or a more advanced uncommitted, let's say sophomore that's already been talking to college coaches. So those are some key kind of points of advice if you're a student athlete or parent or coach watching. And I think with each of our businesses, I think everybody can kind of look to follow us in terms of a resource of giving value and giving a lot of quality education, because at this point, everybody's got time on their hands to actually review and learn and develop and get better. So that'll wrap up for kind of this first segment of this Mastermind Roundtable for today. And thanks for joining, and look forward to what's next as we plan on hosting more of these moving forward.